The leaks for chapter 353 are really going hard. In this video, we continue with seeing Teddy just wreaking a ton of havoc and overall being crazy. But I know you guys don't like being spoiled, so you will have to wait to know more. However, trust me that the ending after that is just insane. But so as not to waste any time, let's get right into it. Alright, so chapter 353, also called the Super Irregular Children's Group, starts off with the Blue Lock team, which is left completely stunned by the foreign intruder Teddy Knight, who effortlessly dribbles through their defensive line. That was what we saw in the last chapter, but still that has been lingering in my mind this whole week, as that was utterly insane. We then see that someone on the team immediately recognizes him as one of the newly selected New Gen World 11 players. Now, sorry to talk so much in the beginning, however, I saw a ton of people having problems with the Blue Lock players not knowing the new Gen 11 players. However, this actually fixes it, as we do see someone who recognizes him, whom I have no idea about who it is yet, but still, personally, I didn't really care about it. Back to Teddy, whose dribbling rhythm is so incredibly unique and abnormal that the Japanese players find it impossible to read or stop. He explicitly states that living as an egoist does not suit him at all, referring to himself once again as a mere trash doll. Now, while I do think that it's a nice addition to not have a crazy player who is obsessed with ego, I'm super sure that his whole outlook on it will change after getting completely beaten by Blue Lock. Teddy then taunts the team. He starts to ask them how many more players he needs to slip past before they finally give up. After that, it seems like it turns into a whole brawl as we see multiple players desperately trying to steal the ball. But even then, Teddy seems to be able to easily evade them, claiming that physically clashing with others is just too exhausting. And here he kind of lost me a bit. I don't want him to be like how Nagi was in, like, the second selection, being a kind of lazy player who does the bare minimum. Before I go any further, I seem to have to clarify in every video that I talk about Nagi that I don't hate him, or I kind of did before, but now in the birdcage, I'm really enjoying him. Back to Teddy, who, you won't believe it, effortlessly slips right past Rin, leaving the usually dominant striker annoyed that this stupid mouse is casually strolling through his territory. Teddy then easily avoids a fierce tackle attempt, proving his movements are perfectly calculated. But I'm going to be honest when I say that it seriously just gets more insane from here, as even Baru's aggressive interference is completely useless against the English winger's flawless, egoless movements. Teddy then looks directly at Baru and bluntly states that egomaniacs are troublesome, and he absolutely never wants to become like him. Now here we actually need to have a serious talk, but how is it that Teddy is able to just come in here and steamroll through the Blue Lock players? The only excuse there can be is that, firstly, they were taken off guard, but also, they just had a training session before Teddy came to them. Because otherwise you can't justify the whole Blue Lock team, like the defenders Rin and Baru, and honestly, pretty much all of them just getting destroyed by Teddy, even though he is a new Gen 11 player. That would just be too insane. Teddy then finally decides to bring the ball to a halt. He then declares that his only purpose is to die for his motherland, acting strictly as a doll to win the World Cup for England. He then stares down the team, noting that if Blue Lock loses the upcoming match, their entire facility will just become a dump. After that, Teddy decides to ask who exactly he is talking to. That's when Isagi steps up and firmly introduces himself. Right away, Isagi is just bringing the entire aura factory to the table by standing up like the boss for Blue Lock. Meanwhile, Rin is probably somewhere on the ground after he got done over by Teddy. Now this is around the middle of the chapter, so let's quickly talk about it because I can't believe what we are seeing. First off, let's talk Teddy. I do find his resolution with him saying that he wants to die for his motherland pretty dope, even though he seems to just be another one of those emo new Gen 11 players like Hugo, Sei, and Bunny. But I can't help but find so many similarities between him and Rin. Firstly, Rin has also said that he wants to find an opponent that he wants to challenge and put his life on the line against. Now Rin wants to do it against a player, while Teddy wants to do it for his motherland. I still feel like it's really similar. After that, we have how Teddy is always calling himself a puppet. Now we all know that Rin's nickname has previously been the Puppet Master, so a lot of things are going in the direction of Rin being the one who will probably stop Teddy and beat him. But I don't know how I personally feel about that. I just think that it's too obvious. Anyway, let me know what you thought about my rant, and let's continue. The text then says that after Teddy leaves, the team discusses the terrifying reality of his skill, admitting that stopping him in a one-on-one situation feels completely insane, which, sorry for talking again, but that line is crazy. Teddy is too overpowered to be able to stop in a one-on-one situation. I don't even love Teddy yet, but you can't deny how much praise the characters are giving him, building him up like he would be some sort of final boss. Anyway, the Blue Lock boys then realized that Teddy intentionally came to their field just to plant that exact image of overwhelming despair in their minds before their death match. With that, we then head right over to our poster boy, Isagi, who reflects heavily on the situation. He thinks for a bit before he realizes that Blue Lock has fundamentally misunderstood their position in the soccer world. Despite being the center of attention in Japan and the U20 World Cup, their recent crushing loss to France proves that they are not the center of the world. Now, not gonna lie, but it was about time that they thought about something along that line. Now, I love how their confidence almost never drops, but after the France loss, I'm glad that they are really taking time and reflecting on their entire mindset and how they should think going forward. With my yapping out of the way for now, we return to Isagi, who reminds the team that they are not elites. They are simply a disjointed mess of outcasts who have faced setbacks and been treated as heretics. Isagi continues with his lesson, as he points out that Japan is not a traditional football superpower like Brazil or a motherland like England, and they are definitely not standard title contenders. With that, Isagi thinks that they should embrace their true underdog nature, and Isagi declares that they are a super irregular children's group, and vows that Blue Lock will devour the world. Now I hope to the gods that the super irregular children's group is some sort of translation error, because there's no way that the Blue Lockers would be willingly calling themselves that. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that there has been something wrong there, because if not, then we need to cook up another fiery name for them. But the last part with them devouring the world, yeah, I can't lie, but that was super cold. Now back to the boy Isagi, who extends his hand with a fierce, determined glare. A visual aura of chains shatters around him as he breaks free from their previous limitations. Now that panel sounds insane, and I'll be honest, but I can't see the panels myself either right now, so I just have to imagine it, as I just have the text. But hearing how he breaks free from their previous limitations was wild, and with that, we can for sure say that we are heading to another level up for the Blue Lock boys. Isagi then continued, or more like his words managed to rally the team's crushed spirits. He then calls out to all of them to unite under a single shared ambition to take on the world. He tells them all to dream the same dream and calls them all egoists. And guys, this is exactly what they were talking about like 2 chapters ago, for them all to somewhat unite and dream the same dream. Personally, I feel like this will go crazy. I can see them all playing way more in sync and seeing what the other players want to do, and in general, just performing way better. We then see the side text, which hypes up their ultimate goal, challenging Blue Lock to use their absolute ego to defeat the world and steal the #1 spot. That's not all either, as we also see a massive countdown at the bottom of the page, reveals that there are exactly 24 hours left until the do-or-die match against England begins. The chapter then closes with a teaser for the next issue, which will be called In the Middle of a Dream, which is most likely a mistranslation, but if it isn't, then I would get behind it, as it sounds fire. Now first off, I don't know if this is true, but I have seen some people saying that there will be a break next week, so be careful of that. But also, the last 3 times that I have said that, it turned out that they were wrong, so take it with a grain of salt. Now I kind of want to ask you guys how you felt about this leak video. For this video, I couldn't look at the panels, so I'm not sure what is wrong or not. You might be wondering why I couldn't look at the panels, but it was because they were impossible to find. Personally, it felt like this leak video became a lot more personality based and had a lot more of my thoughts in it. Just let me know if you also felt it and if you liked it or not. For the chapter, I don't have much to say, as I feel like I spoke a lot throughout the video, but Teddy is just insane. The way that he is completely breaking the ankles of like all of the Blue Lock players is crazy. On top of that, the Blue Lock players all uniting to share the same dream. That line right there just sends chills down my spine. And honestly, I really liked the chapter. I would give it like a 7, maybe from the text alone, but let me know what you thought about this chapter and what your favorite part was. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like. Also, if you can, hype the video down below, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.